apóstoles, en donde
The apostles,
el pueblo
where the people
allí estuvo con Pedro,
they were there with Peter.
un tiempo de regocijo, de gozo.
It was a time of rejoicing,
Estaba
of joy, because
en los comienzos de esa dispensación,
that dispensation was at the
pero
beginning.
también hubo un tiempo de
But there
tristeza,
was also a time of sadness there, where the people were filled
de temor.
with
Entonces
fear.
todos andaban más derechitos
Then everyone was more upright
por lo que sucedió allí con
because of what happened
ese
there
incidente de
with
Ananías
that
y Zafira.
incident of Ananias and Sapphira.
Eso
That
se tornó a bien
became good.
para
It worked out for the good of the others,
hacer una because forma de que
it became a way for everyone to
estaba
know
allí
that the one that was there
era un simple Pedro, un
was
simple
not just a
pescador,
Peter,
sino
a
el
simple
que estaba en
fisherman,
Pedro,
but the one who was in Peter
el Espíritu Santo
was the
obrando
Holy
allí en
Spirit
medio de los
working
apóstoles.
there in the midst of the apostles.
Por lo tanto,
So therefore,
eso se está viendo ya
we
cada
are
vez
already
más
seeing
cerca.
that we are getting closer and closer,
Se van a ver momentos
where we are going to see moments like this.
y queremos y deseamos
And we want and hope
que sean de bendición.
that they will be of blessing.
Vean que primero es la advertencia.
See that first is the warning.
Ellos pensaron que se podían salir
They
por la
thought
suya.
they could get away with it.
Dieron un mensaje tan grande
It
que
was
dio
such a
Pedro
great
en el
message
día
that
del
Peter
Pentecostés.
gave there on that day of Pentecost.
Pero vean,
But notice,
no habían identificado
they had
quién
not
era Pedro.
identified who Peter was.
Aquel que una vez había dicho
He who had once said
esa gran verdad y esa revelación.
that
Tú
great
eres el
truth,
Cristo, el Hijo
that
de Dios.
revelation, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And to him he said, upon this rock I will build my church. In other words, that the great revelation that he had given there,
Las llaves y todo
and he
eso.
gave him the keys and all that.
Vean,
Notice,
conociendo todo lo que había pasado,
knowing everything that had happened, then they do that.
Dios
God
nunca
never
ha jugado con su programa.
played with his program.
No es un juego.
It's never a game.
Por lo tanto,
So therefore,
que entremos todos a esas fases que faltan.
may we
esas
all
etapas que
enter
faltan,
those missing
con
phases,
ese temor reverencial.
those missing stages with that reverential fear, with those words that the angel said to Brother Branham,
Ságrate para la visita de
prepare yourself for the visitation of the angels.
no se va a ver quizás nada, quizás no escuchen
You are
nada.
not going to see maybe nothing, maybe you will not hear anything, because when asked what happened there, what happened inside, I don't know. I know that I went in with a situation and I came out, and I'm now healed, I'm healthy.
Deseo que salgan siempre
I desire that you always go out
con vida espiritual y
with
vida
a spiritual
física
life and physical life as well.
que no les pase como a Ananías o a
May
Zafira.
it never happen to us like it did to Ananias and Sapphira. They entered alive and came out dead.
Se da la advertencia
The warning is
porque
given,
siempre van a haber algunos
because there will always be some
que van a hacerlo, pero
who are going to do it,
mintiendo al Espíritu
but
Santo,
lying to the Holy Spirit,
diciendo que creen y no
saying
creen
that
nada.
they believe and they do not believe anything.
Luego mofarse
Everything to them
o luego
scoff and start to mock,
como pasó con el caso de que
as
se
it
acercó
happened
una
with the
persona
case where a person came up saying that he had put there that he had a certain disease.
cuando pasó él le dijo,
When it happened, he said to him,
"Usted está sano".
go on, you are healthy. He said, but it's that isn't that I'm like this, I have this.
¿Qué pasó?
Give him the opportunity to go on. So what happened? This is in the message, 3 kinds of believers. Many of you remember up there that night when that man came out on the platform. He thought that there was a mental telepathy of reading the prayer cards, and how he thought he had it right then. Brother, he was sure he had it. And he come around and he belonged to the church that don't believe in the gospel, the full gospel. When he come up on the platform, I was tired. They was fixing to take me away. Almost at the end. You see that there are people who want to go and be part of it, but they scoff and criticize. They don't believe anything, even having their evidence of people who were sure to be healed. That was at Windsor, Ontario. In there, come right across from the United States, there, right across from Detroit, a Windsor, the big auditorium. And this man come up there with a grey suit on and a red tie. Intelligent looking man, smart as a tack. And what did that do for him? To be intelligent in the things of the world? He came to the platform and he walked up, and I said, well, just let me have your hand. Now remember that this was the first and second stage, which he showed it publicly. The third poll, that will be in secret, which was a sample of what happened there in the days of Peter and the apostles. See, they closed. It was closed, and then when they opened, they entered. And Peter was in a closed place. It does not say that there was someone in there. He came to the platform and he walked up, and I said, well, just let me have your hand. I said, I'm tired, I have seen so many visions, just let me have your hand. And I never noticed the man, and he put his hand over mine, and I said, sir, there is nothing wrong with you, go ahead. So he didn't even look at him. Give me your hand. Brother Branham was tired. Now remember, I said that the third pool would not be debilitating, it would not be tiring. He said, oh, there is 2. A liar. There's a lie there. And I said, well, let me see there. I said, no, sir, there is not one sign. No, sir, you are a healthy man. Twice he said to him, you are a healthy man. If he had been there, repented, that man maybe even he would be alive. And I said, well, let me see there. I said, no, sir, there's not one sign. No, sir, you are a healthy man. He said, go look at my prayer card. I said, I don't care what you put on your prayer card. I said, I don't have nothing to do with a prayer card. So those who think that because they write something there will deceive God. I have nothing to do with your prayer card. No, not thinking, you see. I was tired and wore out, and by the grace of God, you see, was still there. Even the grace of God, with what that person was doing, even the grace of God was there. In other words, giving him a chance, an opportunity. He said it twice. You remember, if he sends you, it's his obligation to take care of you. It ain't mine. It's him, he sent it. I'm just supposed to stand on what's true. When Moses throwed his stick down, it turned into a serpent. And the magicians done the same thing that could Moses do, but stand there and wait for the grace of God. That's all. Same thing. He followed out the commandments, and you know what happened, don't you see? This man said, now, he said, look at my prayer card.
Bueno,
I
quizás
said,
usted tuvo
well,
mucha
you might
fe
have
y eso
had
lo hizo,
a lot of faith
sin pensar.
and might have
¿Y
done
usted?
it.
Yo había,
Not thinking,
sin
you
ni
see,
siquiera prestar
I done,
atención.
not even paying
Entonces
attention.
se desabotonó el
Then
saco
he
e
unbuttons his
infló el
coat
pecho y
and
dijo,
pushed out his
allí
chest. He
está la
said,
cosa a la
there you
audiencia.
are,
O
to
sea,
the
la
audience.
Y pensé, ¿qué está pasando
And I
aquí?
thought, what's going on
Estaba ya agotado,
here?
no sabía. Y cuando lo ve,
In other words, he was
se abotonó
already
ahí,
exhausted.
todo
He
hinchado.
didn't know, and when he saw him,
Él miró
he
alrededor,
unbuttoned
dijo,
theirs,
allí lo tiene.
all sudden. There
Dijo,
you have it.
ve el truco. Ese es el Judas.
He looked around, he said, there
Un
you
hombre
are. Said,
religioso.
see the gimmick. That's your
Ese es el
Judas,
Judas,
a
un hombre
religious man, a
religioso, un
preacher of a
predicador
great denomination. Said,
de una gran denominación. Dijo, o sea, el hermano Branham dice,
that is, Brother Branham
ese es
says,
el Judas, un hombre religioso,
that's your
un
Judas,
predicador
a
de una
religious
gran
man, a
denominación.
preacher of
Dijo,
a great
allí está la
denomination.
cosa.
Said, there you are.
Yo tuve
I
mucha fe.
had so much
Ahora
faith.
él se ha debilitado
Now he's
tanto
got
que
so
no
weak.
puede captar la
He
telepatía.
can't read the telepathy. See?
O sea, pensaban que
It
era
don't
telepatía
come
y
to
tenía
him
que
no
decir,
more.
ah, sí,
In
la
other words,
tarjeta
they
pusiste
thought it
eso,
was
pues.
telepathy, and he had to tell him,
No era lo que él había puesto ahí.
oh
era
yes,
lo
you
que
put that on the card, so you have this now.
en el corazón.
But it was not what he had put there, it
Cómo
was
estaba
what
él
he
en
had
ese
felt in his
momento, que
heart.
estaba sano.
How he was
No
at that
valía lo que él
moment,
escribió allá.
that he was healthy. It was
Por
not
eso,
worth
delante de
what
la
he wrote
presencia de
there.
Dios no hay
So
nada
therefore,
que
before the
quede
presence
oculto.
of God, there is nothing that is hidden.
Aquellos estaban allá, hicieron
Those were
eso,
there
callados,
and did it
Ananías
quietly.
y Zafira lo supo.
Ananias and Sapphira knew about it.
Lo hicieron oculto y
They did it
pensaron que
hidden
delante de
and
Pedro
thought that
podían
before Peter they could
pasar eso por ficha.
pass it off as a
Es
token.
decir,
It is
pero no era así.
like a figure of speech, but it was not so.
Dice,
He says,
ahí está la cosa. Yo tuve mucha
there
fe.
you are. I
Ahora
had
él
so
se
much
ha
faith.
debilitado tanto que no puede
Now he's
captar
got so weak,
la telepatía.
he
¿Ven?
can't read the
Ya no le
telepathy.
llega.
See,
En
I
ese
don't
momento
come
dijo,
to
no es
him no
porque
more.
yo haya tenido
And there I
tanta fe.
said,
Dijo,
it's not
yo puse eso
my
en la
faith
tarjeta de oración
was so
y
great.
ahora
Said, I put
él
that
ya no
on the
puede
prayer
captar.
card,
¿Ven
and
ustedes?
now he
Dije,
can't catch it.
ese es el truco.
See?
Yo
That's
pensé,
the gimmick.
¿qué está sucediendo? Entonces
They
descendió
thought,
la gracia de
what's
Dios.
going on? Then the
Le
grace
dije,
of God
Señor,
came down. I said,
¿Por
sir,
qué ha puesto el diablo
why
en su
has the
corazón
devil
tratar
put in
de
your
engañar a
heart to
Dios?
try to deceive
Vean lo
God?
mismo.
See?
¿Qué pasó
Same
con
that
Zafira?
happened to Ananias and Sapphira.
Era un Judas moderno.
A modern Judas.
O sea que
So,
si los días de los
if the
apóstoles se
days of the
repiten,
apostles are
usted va a ver
repeted,
ahora Judas
you will
modernos
now
en este
see
tiempo
modern
final también.
Judas in this end time as well.
Le dije, usted
I
es
said,
de la iglesia de Cristo.
you are a church of
Oh,
Christ.
discúlpeme, pues,
Excuse
ya lo
me.
dije, usted
Well,
es un
I
predicador
done
de la
said
iglesia
it.
de Cristo.
You are a
Usted
church of
pertenece a la
Christ
iglesia de
preacher.
Cristo
You
allá en
belong
los
to the church
Estados
of
Unidos.
Christ from
Y aquel hombre
over there
sentado
in
allá
the
con un
United
traje
States.
azul.
And
Y
that
ahí
man
empieza,
sitting up there with a Bible suit on,
señala, y aquel que está allá,
with a blue suit
sentado
on.
con un traje azul. Y su esposa y la
And
esposa
there he
de él
begins.
sentados allí se sentaron
There are already points,
a
and
una
that man
mesa
sitting
anoche
up there
con una cosa
with
verde
that blue
encima,
suit on, and your wife and his
como un
wife
mantel así,
sitting
y allí
there.
se
You sit
propuso usted que
at a
esto
table
era
last
telepatía
night
y que iba a
and
venir
had a green
esta
thing
noche.
over a spread like
O
this,
sea que era
and you
algo
made up
planeado,
that
era un caso fabricado,
this was
como
telepathy,
lo
and you
fue
were
el
coming
caso de
tonight.
Nabot.
So it was a planned thing. It was a fabricated case, like the case of Naboth with Jezebel, who made a fabricated case. But Ahab agreed, you see, so that he sided with her in what she did. That man raised up, he said, that's the honest truth, because there it was discovered. God have mercy on me. I said, sir, you put TB and cancer on that card, and now you have it. It's yours now. And he grabbed me by the pants and said, I didn't. I said, I can't help it. You go right ahead. That's up between you and God. You wrote your doom right on your card. And that got him. That was all of it. In other words, you see the same thing that happened to Gehazi. Naaman's leprosy came to Naaman's leprosy came to him because of lying. He said, no, I was here. I didn't go out. Surely Elisha did not see him go out, but look, it was the Spirit of God that had revealed to Elisha where Gehazi was. So therefore you may think, or people may think, modern Judas may think, we are going to meet here, quietly we are going to look for this way, that way, the other way. Because they do it, they plan things, they make fabricated cases, and then they throw certain things to harm the work of God, to harm what God is doing and try to hinder what God is carrying out. But you notice, the Spirit of God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He has no less power now. He is the same. And as he worked in the past, so he is working in this end time. And it is not a matter of them saying, no, they are afraid of him. It is the work of God in every time where God through the messenger gives the warning. It is always a warning, then the judgment. Because after, God will not be able to bring a nation or to an individual either blessing or judgment. It depends on the attitude of the person. When God gives the admonition and when He speaks blessing and judgment, and He says, therefore choose life, therefore choose blessing. But He has to put both things in front because the human being has free will. So therefore, in this end time, the apostolic days return. And the blessing is so great that God has for each one of us. But it is also such a delicate time that since it is so simple, it says, but this one also is talking about it and nothing happens. And even more where he comes from. Where he comes from. They say that he who plays with fire, sooner or later he gets burnt. And we wish that all will receive the blessings of God. I hope that this prayer that He put in my heart, God will work in favor of all those who listen to it. And that those who listen to it or read it, and that rather, if they do not understand anything, do not take it out. And what do they get out of speaking against it? Let them keep quiet, you see. They are being warned. Afterwards, they cannot say they did not tell me. Well, may God bless you and keep you, and thank you for being here. We have already left the hall with reverence, meditating on the Lord and living a beautiful atmosphere for Sunday, and meditating on what God has given us today. Well, may God bless you and keep you until Sunday, God willing. I love you so much from my heart. We are in the stage, in the time when the great victory will be in love divine.
sobrellevándonos unos a los otros
bearing with each other, protecting our backs,
y
and
perseverando.
persevering until reaching that goal. Well, may God bless you and keep you all.